When I first fell to earth, I fell a man, and the desert spoke, smothering, beckoning me. But in me grew a taste for drowning depths, difference, fire in polar places. I ran for the forest where life flowed freely, and allied myself with hewers of wood. The man magician's one day's wood was wretched work. I saw men laugh, and hacking there, and tree fields bare. We broke our backs as I dirtied myself with a buzzing saw. For once did hate rise in my chest. One with years etched on his face, I asked, "Sir, what's the strength of man?" He paused a bit. The late sun's sinking slashed his visage. His hat's shadow painted his eyes unseeable. "The strength of man is the arm of the tree and the tools at his hand. Not one nor the other, but both. They both decide what holds leaves, ground, or tree." Then it leapt. The buzz saw leapt and pounced, to dismember the last tree. I was weary and wide-eyed. Day done dreaming, I would rest at a river where a researcher was drinking, beach chairs vacant flanking his both sides. He lay in some essential bed. I stumbled forward. Fish pounced and leapt, flaring in the water, splashing my dusk-dark vision with motion. And the man there was melting in moonshine mesmer, staring up at the moon sky with closed eyes. I walked to a chair on his left side, sat where, from the look of his eyes, he knew I wouldn't stay there. And before he could spoil the sacred of mystery, I said to his half-smile, "Kind sir, tell me, what is the strength of man?" Coyotes were howling. Cool winds sliced our frigid faces, but he laughed in bliss and said, "The strength of man," and his eyes wandered skyward, "is what he chooses to look at. Yes, no, what he chooses to look at, and after that, more so, what he chooses to leave unlooked. 'Cause what is looked is what is spoke, and what is thought." He laughed like he joked, but it wasn't very funny, so I took out some smokes that the last man gave me, and 3 darts down my lungs were shaking. I turned my right to end our meet politely, but he was asleep. The desert was smothering, beckoning me. Was hate in my chest? Was it time to make leave? But the skyline was singing and beckoning. Yes, the sight of the city was smothering me. At unholy hours, I felt just one last talk could change me, kill some stagnant pathogen pulsing, tainting all that men had taught me. Seattle was silent and drying. The last bar open, I sat at a stool not far from its center, where a tender was silent and gathering glasses. Just one woman drank here, late here. Pen in hand, she hid away a paper. Inky lips did frown when she saw me, a look I saw just 'fore I fell. And for one, I did now tell her my name. She put the pen down, smiling fakely. Here it was. "Woman, what is the strength of man?" The language like liquid flowed from her lips. The shit of a vulture. And for one I did laugh. And she laughed too, but she wasn't joking. And the pain of her body could be felt, there in the cold air that caged all her movements in nailing slowness. What thought in her mind could not be disguised by the look of distrust feebly fleeing her eyes. "The strength of man," she did continue, "is the strength of the tail-eating snake surrounding, that coils and coils but never changes." And she stared at the face of the cool, dark liquid, pooling proudly in her red-rimmed beverage. "How the stars don't shine just out this window." "Better so we don't see them fall." "Are you a writer?" "Not at all." "You don't like writing?" "Who could? Just living brings me shame enough. But now I lay in the valley of evil and scream for the city to notice my spirit. How much do I want them to scream at the sand dunes, the sky and the ocean, my name, she who hovers over the surface of the water, she who stares at the face of the water and sees men collaged in moving mirrors. The words were like music, but building and building to a vile crescendo, voice raging and violent, and outside the window the rain was now falling, and laughing was lightning. She ripped up her paper. The strength of man is the breadth of a line and the depth of a circle. From the way that you flinch, I can see you're a physicist. All men are and are always looking, painting raindrops with torrid reason. I knew she was mine, a slave to the truth, but ashamed by its vices. I wanted to kiss her, to scream on the sand dunes. With diabolical joy, I would make her name now. So instead, I held her face and sung her culmination. But now you pray for rain, you take all the blame for drought? I saw rage in her eyes, vessels of blood wrecks beating around the edges. Because you sing for rain, you pose all the blame for drought? The sun rose red and was riding the earth. The sand, liquid light in the morning, did rake. I buried her face down in the desert, knowing she'd be mine when the chasm gaped. The Devil in Seattle was submitted during our Discord's monthly writing competition. If you would like to see more of these, many of which don't show up here, or even participate yourself, please follow the link in my bio and join us in a local coffee shop.